Okay. وفروض الوضوء أربعة غسل الوجه وحده من مبدأ السطح الجبهة إلى أسفل الذقن طولا وما بين شحمتي الأذنين عرضا وغسل اليدين مع المرفقين وغسل الرجلين مع الكعبين ومسح الربع الرأس. The obligatory acts of ablution are four. Washing, so these are the four obligations of wudu which should be memorized. Washing the face once. Its vertical boundary is from the beginning of the top of the forehead to the bottom of the chin, and its boundary horizontally is what is between the two earlobes. So from the top of the forehead, meaning from where the hairline starts. So if someone starts going bald, they start from their original hairline. By the way, the author in his commentary on al-Quduri, al-Lubab mentions that miswak. What is miswak? Miswak is the toothstick. So the miswak, this is the miswak. The miswak, what does it do? If someone uses miswak delays hair loss. But this, someone may say, and object to this, say, is this proven scientifically? We are not saying this is a scientific fact. This is based upon experience of certain scholars. So we do not present this as a scientific fact. It is not mentioned in the hadith, meaning in the narrations of the Prophet ﷺ. It's based upon experience of the jurists. So the hairline starts from where the hair was originally, up to the chin, and vertically from one earlobe. So that includes this area here, at the side of the face, up to the other side, making sure this area is wet. Washing the hands up to and including the elbows. So up to and including the elbows. So if you miss out the elbows, you've not completed the obligation. Number 3, washing the feet up to and including the ankles. Number 4, and wiping a quarter of the head once. So these are the 4 obligations of wudu. The greater ritual impurity, al-hadath al-akbar. Wal-hadath al-akbar al-janabatu bi khuruj al-maniyyi ila zahir al-jasadi إذا انفصل عن مقره بشهوة وتواري حشفة أو قدرها من مقطوعها في أحد سبيلي آدمي حي وإنزال المني بوطء ميتة أو بهيمة ووجود ماء رقيق بعد النوم ووجود بلل ظنه منيا بعد إفاقته من سكر وإغماء والحيض والنفاس. The greater ritual impurity, janaba, is caused by the following: the emission of seminal fluid to one's outer body if it separates from its point of origin through desire, meaning this for the male. The disappearance of the head of the private male organ or its length from one that is severed in one of the 2 passages, meaning the private organs. Then number 3, ejaculation of seminal fluid through intercourse. Now someone may mention, why do they mention dead woman or animal? They give the legal ruling here, but this doesn't mean the action is halal. The action is haram, but they are giving the legal ruling. So these books were written in a time where people just wanted the legal ruling. Of course, when quoting the fiqh books today, we must contextualize the content of any fiqh book, any book of jurisprudence. Contextualize it to a modern setting. Finding a fine watery fluid on one's body or clothing that one believes to be seminal fluid after sleeping. Finding wetness on one's body or clothing that one believes to be seminal fluid after regaining consciousness from intoxication or fainting. So intoxication, he's mentioned intoxication, but does this mean intoxication is permitted? The answer is no. So if sometimes non-Muslims quote fiqh books of jurisprudence to say, look, your books contain this, your books mention this, intercourse with the dead body or intercourse with an animal. They are not saying these actions are permitted, like the way they are saying intoxication is not permitted, but they give the legal ruling relating to intoxication. And after purity, tohar from menses or lakya, this is for the women, meaning once the mens is finished, the cycles, or the lakya is afterbirth bleeding. Afterbirth meaning after childbirth. If women have bleeding after childbirth, the maximum period is 40 days. Some people are under the impression that if a woman gives birth, she becomes impure for 40 days. 40 days is not necessary. 40 days is the maximum period. But the minimum period could be 1 minute, 2 minutes, 5 days, 10 days, 3 days. Maximum is 40 days. But once the bleeding stops, then the woman is no longer impure. Lakya is what? In Arabic, nifas, and menses is hayd. The name for menses is hayd. وَطَهَارَتُهُ بِالْغُسْلِ وَالتَّيَمُّمِ أَيْضًا. The purification from the greater ritual impurity is by performing the purificatory bath, meaning ghusl, or dry ablution, meaning tayammum, if the conditions are met for its validity. Any questions relating to this? No questions.